Hey, welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the part 2 and 3 of the Onision dramaalert Snapchat videos. If you're unfamiliar, we are talking about a dramaalert video that Keemstar, host of popular YouTube channel dramaalert, did about the most hated YouTuber, Edwins Interview. I did release a video about 19 hours ago about my opinion about that part. This is a follow-up to that because I did watch the videos on Snapchat. Well, I tried, but it was like every minute there was an ad, which I'm not complaining about. I expected that. I honestly didn't expect that many ads. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are mad because he's making money out of this situation, but it was always going to be that way, and I'm not gonna hate on somebody for making money for reporting things, but I am gonna hate on somebody for the way that they reported on things. I, like a lot of other people, thought that there was a lot of potential for this interview to be really good. It just didn't turn out that way. In the first part, we got an Edwin video, which was great. I wasn't complaining about that. Edwin does his research better than any, and I thought best case scenario, these people were going to see Edwin and they were going to go to his channel. Was it linked in that dramaalert video? It actually was not linked in that dramaalert video, but I'll link his channel in the description of this video. So I thought, well, this is great. At least Edwin's in there. Now people are going to go to his channel where he's got really well-researched videos talking about the entire situation. And then he went on with this interview where I guess he was playing it safe because he didn't approach it very aggressive. He kind of laid out very simple questions, and then he sat back and he let Onision just kind of tell his excuses, pretty much what Onision had already been doing on his own channel when he released this monumental amount of videos that explain the situation. Well, imagine that, except for in one breath, and Keemstar several times had to cut him off because he wouldn't have got a word in edgewise. So that's pretty much it. It was not very eventful. It was overhyped. It was just not good. And like I said, when you did go watch the rest of the parts on the Snapchat, you really couldn't watch the video because of the sheer amount of the ads. Now, I have been told that those parts are supposed to be uploaded to dramaalert, but I don't know, because I had an initial thought that maybe he wasn't uploading this to the dramaalert channel because of the backlash that he could receive. You know, if he's uploading it to another platform, it's not going to affect his platform so much. But if he is going to upload it to his own channel, then I don't know. I do think that he's going to get a little bit of hate for the video, because literally he just gave a platform for Onision to just talk, and I think that was what he intended to do anyway, is to just give Onision a platform for him to tell his own story, which really made no sense because Onision had already done that in 30 plus videos, and honestly the views of those videos would probably add up to the amount of the views the dramaalert video currently has, because it's really underwhelming the amount of views that this Onision video on his channel has gotten. I know when Repzilla does a video on Onision, it can get up to the millions of views. Not so much with Keemstar. But could you imagine that interview if Edwin interviewed Onision, or if Repzilla, that's probably never going to happen, but if Repzilla interviewed Onision, or even I got to interview Onision, and then we could have came at him with the hard questions, we wouldn't have just sat there and let him get away with anything, because we know all the bits of the information. We know, we're so familiar with the story, which this user on Twitter summed it up here. It was boring because you didn't know anything about the case, therefore you didn't confront him about anything. It was a waste of time. And I gotta say, that's pretty much what it was. It was a waste of time. There was nothing new that was brought to the table. Chris Hansen's been interviewing victims, letting their stories be told, and then I guess we have Keemstar, where Onision's story was told, really didn't do anything. And I think that's about why the views are so low on the video. I just really don't understand. I got to go back to it and just say that it was a money grab. Keemstar did tweet about 4 hours ago that some say the Onision interview is boring. Part 2 and 3 are way more entertaining. But part of the reason it's boring is because Onision defended himself well. And most viewers are going in trying to find him guilty. When they don't get that smoking gun, they complain. Boring. I disagree with this. This is not a very good, well-worded tweet. Onision didn't defend himself well. He defended himself no more well than the videos where he poured kombucha all over himself. It was not a good interview.
Well, of course, if I can inject my opinion, like anybody from the outside looking in is going to look at this whole scenario with you guys and Sarah as creepy. Like, you do understand, like, the public's view of this is like, there's this underage girl that's hanging out at your house for a while, right? And then when she turns 18, you hook up. I don't think you broke any laws in that scenario. I really don't. But, like, people are going to see it as creepy. You do understand that, right?
What I understand is a girl told us that her mom was beating her. And when she accused her mom of beating her, her mom said, "What the f*** are you talking about?" She was on the phone with Kai when this happened. So I naturally, with my white knight status, wanting to be a hero, said, well, then you can come live with us since your mom is beating you. And I don't see how it's creepy to take somebody in who said that their mom is beating them and that they needed, safe refuge. Now, when you move on to her consistently via these texts pressuring Kai into sleeping with her constantly.
All right, you can see just in that little clip that I showed you or let you hear there. Number one, he doesn't answer the question, and he never answers any of the questions. It was a simple, do you see how the public could see this as creepy? He doesn't say yes or no. He shifts it onto something completely different, starts talking about how the mother was beating her and this and that. And then in that part there, I gotta, within my thought process here, and I need you guys to tell me what you think about this. I'm a content creator on the internet. I have a lot of people reaching out to me, telling me a lot of the stories about their lives, and I'm there to give my support within my power. I'll talk to them. I'll listen to what they have to say. I'll even give advice at times. When serious things happen, I think you would call the social services, you would report it, things like that. But in no amount of conceptualization is within my mind do I see it as like, hey, let me just tell this 16-year-old girl that she can move in. I don't see that. And I might be a terrible person for not wanting to move the 16-year-old into my house, and this is this is two completely different situations here. That it's kind of creepy. It just really is. I mean, that in itself, it's hard to rationalize that. You can't just say, well, it's because I'm a white knight, that's why I did it. It's still, to the public, it's going to come off creepy. And did you notice how he transitioned into shifting blame to Sarah, going ahead and start talking about how she blackmails and all this other stuff? And do you recognize any of this he's saying? That's right. He explained this all in the 30 videos that he put out on his platform, which add up to currently about the same amount of views that Keemstar's video has. So why does this interview even exist?
Yeah, when you actually, the videos that are coming out now, right, and the videos that have been coming out for the last couple weeks from these people that make nothing but Onision videos, what they're saying is you're probably not going to go to jail, not because you're not guilty, but
inconvenient.
But there just isn't enough proof. But these are the same people that have been saying, oh, Onision is going to jail. The FBI is investigating. He is done. Like, so I find this whole movement.
The embarrassment is about to be overwhelming. The future for these people, knock on wood, because, you know, typically when you say this is how it's going to go, it's not going to go that way. I just want to say, what the fuck's going to happen when nothing happens?
I just got through going through the last part of that interview again, just to refresh my brain. Literally, it's, you know, Keemstar is just agreeing with Onision. Like I said, he can't get a word in edgewise. Onision's just constantly talking. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go back with my. There was nothing new brought to the table, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. And I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. The best part of this whole situation is that Edwin's generation was in the first video, and his in-depth research was good. So if you guys want to watch his videos on the situation, you watch my videos, they are going to be in the description below. So when I was in the middle of making this video, which I do apologize that you're not going to be able to get it until about 5 a.m. in the morning, but mornings with Rep. It looks like Keemstar is really feeling uneasy about this entire situation as he's hopping into videos and live streams that talk about the situation. I guess he's on edge because he said initially in a Twitter video how he did fear this interview. He hopped in a live stream with not only Tommy C, but with Edwin's generation. I was in that live stream earlier, but I left in order to work on this video, so I missed that, so I'm not going to be able to share any of that footage. But we will talk a little bit about what he was saying in the Tommy C live stream.
Keemstar, you're on the air. I can't fucking criticize you. I don't think you did anything wrong.
It's like, it's really, really hard. So I was watching probably about 6 hours of content.
Sure.
On YouTube prior to the interview, just to get as much information as I possibly could. But what I found is the sources of this information are just going into this 1000% biased.
Yeah.
So there would be these scenarios where I'd be like, oh, I can get him on that. But then it's like, wait, there's no proof. It's just this commentator is saying he is guilty. He did this.
I do kind of understand where he's coming from at that point, because there are a lot of commentators that do cover the Onision controversy, and they're not the best ones to be covering the situation. But notice where he said that he watched about 6 hours of content. Now, that is not enough to be covering this entire situation, and I mean this with all of the best respect. When I made my first video on Onision, it was when the allegations of Sarah first came out. I believe I was one of the first ones to report on it. That video ended up getting, I think it's over 500,000 views. I worked on that video for a week straight, almost 8 to 10 hours a day. Just massive research, and before I ever finally got it out, because with videos like that, they do take a long time. I haven't really done any super in-depth research videos this year, but I will get some out. I am working on the Dobby Vanity case, but when you do videos like that, you do have to take the proper time. And really, there was always that potential for Keemstar to do very well in this interview, but we were afraid that he wasn't going to be able to give it the proper time. He himself said that it's not Drama Alert's format to do long-winded content, so that he was always going to have some trouble there.
I reached out to Blaire White.
What did she say? What did she say, Blaire White?
I had her review the full interview. I said, can you please watch this full interview and tell me where I'm fucking up on this interview, right? And she said that she would, and then she just ghosted me like 3 days before and never got back to me. I don't even know if she watched the full interview, but I sent her the full interview 3 days before it came out.
You know, come to think of it, she's backed off from this story. I haven't heard her name since last year. in this story. Now, she got the original off the ground. I don't think she did a bad job or anything. We didn't know. I mean, she allowed Sarah, gave her a platform to level her accusations, which she has the right to do. But I'm starting to think like she's not really anti-Owen. I wonder if she just goes through the whole thing because she thinks it's bullshit.
Well, that's why I reached out to her in the first place. Good I figured if anybody was going to be fair about the situation, that she would.
Well, that's very interesting. I didn't think about that, but maybe she's just covering other topics. But yeah, she's not really covered anything after that interview with Sarah. If I had to give some leniency towards Keemstar, it would be that you tried, you gave it your best. But if I had to be really, strict about it, I would say you knew what you were getting into. Everyone tried to warn you. The interview wasn't good. The ball was dropped, unfortunately, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But if you guys want to watch the rest of this interview of Tommy C's, I will put it in the description below. I do find it interesting that Keemstar is worried so much about this particular situation. It kind of makes me feel like he does care a little bit more than a lot of other people on the internet have been saying, because it is affecting him. You could hack it up to maybe it's because low views, but I think I'm going to look at the good in people and say that I think he wished that he would have took more time on this, but that's just what I think if I had to search for a reason. So let me know what you think. I want to go back and reiterate my initial worries about this whole interview is that Onision was going to be presented to a new audience. He was going to resurrect his fan base, and more girls were going to get hurt, and it was just going to be terrible. Now, like I said, my concerns. I don't think that's going to happen because the views, even on, like I said, Keemstar's video is not good. It was just a lot of regurgitated information, and because it was not a good interview, I am less worried about that. Does that make sense? Anyways, as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up those likes, and as always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. I feel like I spit when I said that. So yeah, it's a interesting situation. Like I said, Edwin was the best part of the whole thing. His in-depth research, very, very nice. Thank you to my patrons, really appreciate it. I feel like the whole situation with Onision, the whole Onision investigation, I just feel like it's turned into just something else. It's incredibly hard to follow, but I'm still gonna cover it and do the best I can when updates and stuff do come out. I do hardly feel like this interview was something to even make a video about, but I really do like to follow up on topics that I'm covering, so I hope you enjoyed this. In other news, Greg the cat is the only Greg, the best Greg that you need to know. And we are working on the new merch. It's going to be awesome. I got artists working on it, so look forward to that. Other than that, what else? Thanks to everybody that's going over and following the Facebook page. I really appreciate it. It's been great. It just keeps getting better over there. If you want more in-depth updates on things or anything like that, then that's the place to go. And we are trying to get to 10,000 followers this year. We're about halfway, so I really appreciate all the support over there. And it's just another way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're Greg. And how you do that, all you gotta do is subscribe, notifications turn on, be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm gonna be there. Greg the cat's gonna be there, and the rest of the Red Sox community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Greg, you wanna go get some food?